Hi, it's Gary Kayye. We're here at InfoComm 2016. The show's going to close in about 4 hours, and I got InfoComm show guy here, Jason McGraw. How are you?
Hey, Gary, doing great.
You got the greatest mention account name for Twitter. It's a apropos because you are the InfoComm show guy. First off, I see a smile, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, it's been a great week. Fantastic show, great turnout, very happy exhibitors. Our biggest show we've ever done. A record number of 1,000 exhibitors this year. Fantastic products on the show floor. Really upbeat buzz. You can hear it, when you walk around the aisles, and really excited. I think it really, shows it's a reflection of how the industry's doing, and the industry's doing very well.
Yeah, the show is absolutely a bellwether for the industry, and I can tell you that for sure, because you may remember back to 2008, 2009, people were not as excited about the industry. We were going through a lot of economic issues and also new product and new technology issues. There was a lot of competition coming in from places that we weren't expecting it.
Right.
But this has been a really upbeat couple of years here, and I think this has been capped off this year with the most new products and new technology launched at InfoComm that I've seen in probably a dozen years.
Yeah, it's very significant. I mean, great in all different categories too. It's not just display, audio products, collaboration products, digital signage products. Yeah. It's been fantastic. Do you have any indication of how how everybody was receiving the education? Because you guys have an enormous amount of education going on simultaneously and certification. I do know that you set a record. Maybe you didn't know this, but you set a record in certification here at InfoComm. More people CTS certified than ever before in one place. Yeah, it's not surprising. We had over 500 people this last weekend do our 3-day course. Most of those were doing certification prep classes with the intention of trying to take the exam here on site. And, we had a record number of people taking our seminar and workshop package. That was up nearly 40% over last year for the Wednesday through Friday classes. So that was really tremendous. This year we had made a change where we did kind of 100 sessions for one price and a package, which was just hugely popular this year.
And it's always tougher to have an InfoComm show here in Vegas because you've divided the hall into two different halls. But it really flows really well together, the way that you've put it, the way you've spread out education and also the things that are drawing people to each hall.
Right.
How's that? How do you feel like that flow has been, and how do you feel like that's gone for you? Because it is tougher, right? I mean, Isn't it harder than having everything in one hall?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's also still, I chuckle a little bit when somebody comes in and they walk in one hall or the other, and they're like, "Is this all there is?" I'm like, "It's pretty big, but yeah, there's a whole nother half on the other side of the lobby." It's been great. We do, by design, have the different specialty pavilions. We had digital signage and unified communications and our drone pavilion over in the North Hall this year. We had audio, lighting and staging, content creation, our consultants lounge all over in the Central Hall this year. So it provides a great balance and a reason for folks to go into both halls. We did our tech trek to get people to go around and see the different special events and exhibits, and I think it's flowed really well back and forth.
Yeah, I just finished judging the innovation showcase. I won't tell you who I voted for because we'll wait and see who wins. But but I think it's a great idea because it draws people back there. And there's some really good. I mean, that's something that I think when you do that next year, people need to watch out for. I think people should start there because it will challenge the traditional manufacturers to tell you what they're doing that's innovating, because there's about 6 or 7 companies back there that are doing things that I'd never even thought of. And of course there's a dozen or so more that are there. But I really like that. I really think we're excited to be a co-sponsor or whatever we are of that. We really enjoy that. And I like how you, as you just described, divided the show into sort of zones. So 2017 show, obviously it'll probably be a record number of exhibitors for you, or close to a record number of exhibitors for you, and also with the market shifting the way it is, there's a good chance that we'll see even more new technology next year in 2017, don't you think? No doubt, and we're definitely making a concerted effort to try and reach out to bring in more companies that are involved in content creation, streaming technologies, for example. We're definitely seeing a lot of new players enter our space. We're seeing a lot of the traditional IT bellwether brands coming into the show. We had HP, Intel, Dell exhibit with us this year. So we're starting to see
we've been talking about convergence for 10 years, but it's definitely materializing every year here at InfoComm, and we're going to see even more of that. We've been rebooking space here on site and even pre-show. We're definitely building ahead of where we are this year for next year.
Any idea of attendance for this year's show? I mean, will you set a record, yes or no, and do you have a number?
I don't have the final number, and I don't know if it'll be a record, but it's pretty good. So we'll know in probably about 4 more hours when the show closes. And I think I heard there was a couple more shuttle buses coming from the airport yet to the registration hall. So
that's good. That's good. Well, 2 more shuttle buses means 140 more people, so that's a good thing, right? But no, I figured you wouldn't answer that question. If you were sort of had your crystal ball on and you wanted to project where we'd be 5 years from now or 10 years from now, do you think the show's going to change much? Do you think, I mean, the trade show business, a lot of people 10 years ago were saying, oh, trade shows are going to die because of the internet, or maybe 15 years ago they were saying that. Yeah. And it didn't. In fact, it didn't, not only didn't die, but the shows that have survived the economy, not really the technology, have actually thrived and gotten bigger and better.
Sure.
So do you feel that way about InfoComm?
Absolutely. I mean, we're working on our plans now, 10 years and beyond to make sure we have the appropriate hall space, because we're anticipating to continue to grow the show. I think what we found over the years is, technologies have sunset, new ones have come on. The show's very horizontal, as is our industry. We serve a lot of different market segments and a lot of different applications, and those are going to keep evolving, and InfoComm is really going to be the platform that are going to address all those changes moving forward. And we didn't have drones a couple years ago, and now it's becoming a mainline product line in our industry.
Virtual reality now.
Yeah, virtual reality, 360 video. 10 years ago, I mean, who would have imagined all the LED that we have here, from the display technology perspective, and that just keeps improving in resolution and capabilities and interactivity. Everything now is a way to engage, and that comes back to your point, Gary, about I think people are going to still come out to trade shows because it's about people. It's about experiencing, seeing, touching, networking, and trade shows are still the most efficient way to do that. So I think there's a bright future ahead for InfoComm and the trade show industry.
I think education will drive a lot of that too, because I actually taught 2 classes while I was here at the show, and both of them were packed. I haven't seen the reviews, but they all seem to be really happy. They came up and asked a lot of questions. People are really engaged with the educational process. And of course, I've always challenged people to not come to InfoComm and walk the show floor all the time. Come to InfoComm and go to the education, figure out what classes you're going to take, and then walk the show floor. Don't do it the other way around. Yeah. Book your appointments for the show floor after you've booked your educational appointments. And I certainly encourage everybody to become CTS certified, because then you at least have a good base knowledge of everything you kind of need to know to understand what you're looking at. Because you can wander around a show floor like this and you're not even sure what companies do.
Right.
There's so many companies here. You kind of hinted at we're going to see more content creation. That indicates digital signage. There's going to be a bigger focus on digital signage for InfoComm in the future, because I'd love to see that element of InfoComm really be built.
Yeah, I think a big screen and putting content on a big screen, we got that. I think if you start to look at a lot of the different vertical market applications, whether it's for hospitality, the manufacturing industry, retail, education market, there's a lot of different applications for digital signage, and we're going to go a lot deeper into that, next year and beyond.
I mean, you're really the best show to do that. I would love to see you do that. Now, another question is 4-day show. This is the busiest 3rd day I remember. I mean, I don't know if you've walked the show floor yet. I was saying to Annabelle, who's shooting our Periscope right now, and thanks for Annabelle for doing that, earlier today, that the last day of a show is always slower. So if you have a 5-day show, day 5 would be slower.
Right.
So if this was a 5-day show, day 3 would be busy. Right. This is by far the busiest 3rd day InfoComm, and I've been at 28 InfoComms, right? Yeah. This is by far or 27. This is by far the busiest 3rd day. Are we on the verge of seriously looking at a 4th day show? What do you think?
I would say not yet. We definitely need, I believe, to have more attendance at the show. So, what is that magic number in terms of attendance?
Is it really that? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but is that really the driving factor? Because I see a lot of people. Well, number one, it is completely impossible to walk this entire show floor in 3 days.
Sure.
And unless you don't stop anywhere.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I think a lot of people potentially don't get a chance to see something that they normally would have seen. And then the fact that the 3rd day is on a Friday, kind of that everyone wants to kind of get home for the weekend kind of thing. So, do you really believe you have to have more attendance, or is it that only because the manufacturers would want more numbers for their ROI?
No, well, I think that's part of it. I mean, it's definitely an equation. You know, the manufacturers are you know, buying the exhibit space here at the show and supporting the show, and there is significant expense to add a fourth day. So, you know, on the ROI side, then that also translates into, you know, how many attendees are going to visit their booths, and is it worth the extra investment for that? You know, and I'm not sure that we're quite there yet. You know, if we're kicking people out here at the last, you know, hour of the day, and, you know, certainly here it's definitely busier than I recall on a Friday. It definitely feels that way.
Yes, it's definitely.
You know, a little light this morning, I think, as people were recovering from parties last night.
Crestron had their big party last night. By the way, they had ZZ Top at their party last night. Isn't that amazing? But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, you know, we look at a lot of those factors. We definitely talk with our manufacturers and say, hey, I mean, the one thing we don't want to do is we don't want to dilute the traffic that we currently have, you know, into 4 days. And, you know, so it's something that's certainly there. And that's one of the things when we look at future dates for the show. Do we have enough days to move in? Do we have the potential to do a 4-day? You know, we have a 3-day move out. So, you know, you're talking a long time that we have to have the building available. So, you know, it's something we're probably looking long term. It's probably not something that we'll do in the next couple of years. But, you know, we certainly do keep an eye on that. We want to provide the best venue for the industry at this event moving forward, and listen to all voices.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time here at the end of the day, or halfway through the third day of the show. We're very appreciative of all the support. We're appreciative of the support of the viewers here. Obviously, if you've been watching our coverage all along, you know that you should be here. I guess one value that we do provide is that we extend the show another 362 days or 363 days of the year. I can't even count. So that's nice, but you're not looking at this on a little small screen is nothing like actually experiencing it. And obviously, you're missing all the educational stuff, which to me is more important than the show. No offense to Jason, anyway, we will see you at ISC in Amsterdam in February 2017.
Absolutely. Yeah. Looking forward to it, Gary.
And congratulations. We'll report the attendance numbers when Jason sends them to us. Thanks for watching. And, of course, any manufacturer that exhibited here, which is over 1,000 companies, if you want to know what they had at the show, just type in their name in the video search window. Thanks for watching.